Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Potential Leash. We're back in another video. This time the tier list video that we're making, we're going to be ranking the Black Bulls in terms of strength because there's a lot of stuff going on in the manga. A lot of people have gotten power-ups. We've been seeing a lot of people's true strength. So I think it's proper time that we're going to be ranking these characters. And I believe the chapter that this video will be based off of all the way up to chapter 296. So I'm excited. Now, a character that will be on this list is not that he's the guy next to Vanessa and next to Nero. Because, well, the Black Bulls, they have 15 of them, and I counted as 15. I assume that's him. So we're going to be doing this. And the anime is not coming back for a while. It's canceled. But still, the manga's going crazy right now. I highly suggest you guys, if you guys don't read manga, I believe the chapter to read or to come back on where the anime left off was, I believe, 272. So I highly suggest you guys read it and get caught up, because the Spade Kingdom art so far, for me, is a 10 out of 10. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, then make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that out of the way, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's get into it. So how we're going to be doing this video is we're going to be ranking them in terms of how powerful they are and how useful they are in a fight. Not necessarily a one-on-one situation, because some people won't be able to shine. Let's say, for instance, Finra and Vanessa. They're not really the best in one-on-one situations. And someone like Gray, she's not the best either. She's not as strong as others. However, her magic, it assists in different ways. So I will be taking that into account. But to start out, we have Finra with his spatial magic. Finra, he cannot do any attack spells, any spells that actually inflict damage on people. However, his spatial magic, when paired up with somebody, we saw with Asta going against one of the people of the Three-Eye or Midnight Sun, I believe that's what they're called. He was assisting Asta with his spatial magic. He also did the same with Jack and Yami. And he hasn't really done anything in the manga. We haven't really seen him yet. I assume he's the one that sent Asta to the Spade Kingdom. I don't know. But Finra, his spatial magic is pretty useful. He also has one spell that it tracks onto people, and he can teleport them wherever he wants to. I'm going to list him in the C tier just simply for the fact of how useful he is when helping other people. Like I said, if we were basing this one-on-one, Finra would be, well, the weakest. He would be useless in my opinion. However, because of how useful he is when it involves others, you got to give him a little bit of credit here. Next up, we have Yami Sakura, the captain of the Black Bulls. He uses dark magic. I think it's very self-explanatory where he deserves to go. He deserves to go to S tier. What we've seen him do, when he first was introduced, he almost destroyed Asta, right? Had so much of an aura, so much of a heavy presence. I think the first time we actually got to see Yami in action was against Lit. He was going crazy. He was able to keep up with them. The only people that were able to match Lit in terms of speed, I believe, was Yami, and it was King Julius. So that's a pretty impressive feat. Yami also was able to take out Despair with a Dark Dimension Slash, so that was impressive as well. We saw what happened with him versus Dante, and we saw Yami, he was able to do Mana Zone for the first time against, I forget what the demon's name was, but yeah, I believe, I looked it up, his name was Zagri. So Yami was able to achieve Mana Zone for the first time, was able to hit him with a fatal attack. Like I said, saw his fight with Dante, saw how strong he is. We saw him pick up Dante. Even Asta was impressive. You know, Asta has some big old muscles himself. So Yami, no brainer, the captain, he has to be the strongest person on the Black Bulls. Very impressive, love him. Next up, we have Charmy. Charmy is a really hard character to scale, really hard character to talk about her strength, because she holds back a lot. Especially, she is really strong when she turns into her half dwarf. So with her overall cooking ability and what she leads to the table, I want to put her low A, but there's a reason why I'm not going to. We're going to put her B tier. She's, I think, high B, low A. She was able to defeat members of the well, I'm not gonna say the closest, like the three strongest of the Midnight Sun aside from Lit, but people right below her that even struggle a little bit with. He had to use Bell for the first time. We see what she can do with her cotton magic. She's able to also replenish people's foods, people's mana with food. We saw what she did to Real when she fought against a captain and beat a captain he was infused with elf mana. So Charmy, she's really impressive. She also, in the Spade Kingdom, she went against a devil and was able to defeat a devil who I believe they could use around 50% of their devil powers. So Charmy, she's really impressive. However, I think it would be a little bit of a disservice to put her up there with other characters. So she's going to be a B tier for me. And Magna's another hard one because, okay, Magna, he doesn't have much magic. We saw he was kicked out. Well, not really kicked out, but he left the Spade Kingdom because he said that, well, the magic, he didn't have enough mana, so the training there was not helping him. He couldn't do anything because of how long it would take him to achieve or be able to use more magic. Magna, he really doesn't do much. We saw him against Luck. He was getting beat a lot, and we saw him and Luck versus Despair. They lost as well. However, in the recent chapters of the manga, Magna went crazy. He used, I don't know what the spell is called, but basically how it works, he beat Dante, and the spell allowed him to create a magic bind between the two, where they're a soul chain. I believe that's what it's called. Basically, it splits the people's magic in two, so no matter how weak or how little magic Magna had, it doesn't matter because he was using Dante's magic to balance their skill gap out. And he was able to beat Dante because of that. So, but that's just one magic spell and powerful spell. But however, it was able to beat a Dark Triad member. So, like I said, he's definitely stronger than Finra. But does that one spell, I don't think I should put him on S tier or A tier because of just that, simply that one spell. However, it is strong, but I'm gonna have to put him on the B tier with Charmy. Definitely. That was impressive. However, it was just one feat, and so I would need to see him do a lot more. Next, we have Gosh. I don't think he's above B tier. I think he's in the C tier. I think he's stronger than Finra though. I do like his mirror magic. He has the reflect ray. He has real double, reflect, reframe. It starts with a mirror. I forget what it's called, but he has a lot of mirror attacks. I think my favorite one is when he can teleport. He moves so fast it looks like he teleports, but he's just moving because he's reflecting himself off of the mirror. So I think that's pretty impressive. However, Gosh hasn't beaten anybody really worthy. Hasn't beat any of the Midnight Sun. Hasn't beat any devils. I mean, he beat like some lackeys, but that's about it. But his magic ability and stuff is pretty cool. But you can't, everybody else above Finra have proven more, in my opinion. I like Gosh as a character, however, I can't be biased or anything. I think he's stronger than Finra, however, he just hasn't proven as much as the other characters. And this is the same with Gordon. His poison magic, it's useful, it's poison. He has a lot of potential. However, Gordon, I don't even think we really saw him in action until like episode 90 or something like that. And he was, I'd say, on the level around Gauge and Gray. Wasn't really doing much, I'd say. Like I said, his poison magic's pretty cool, but he hasn't beaten anybody one-on-one. So I'm gonna still put him over Finra. However, my bad. I just haven't seen enough from him. Now, Gray's transformation magic is kind of different. I'm gonna put her on the D tier. However, she gets an asterisk because her transformation magic, it only helps when she's fighting with other people, because she could transform into somebody else, cause a little bit of mayhem, confusion. She can also create a lot of somebody or a lot of objects that'll scare somebody and be like, oh, which one is this? Which one's really the real one? Or she can also throw off something. We saw how she implemented a mirror, which threw off Gauge's accuracy when he was trying to use the reflect ray. And so she's very useful. However, she is very useful only when it's included with other people. She also kind of has the ability to heal. She does have it. But instead of healing, it's basically rewriting the body. We saw when Gauge was impaled by Dante by a sword, how she basically healed his wounds by creating a new organ, something along the lines of that. So she is useful. And I don't want to paint the narrative of none of the Black Bulls are strong or useful if they're in the lower tiers. It's not that. They're just not as strong or as broken as some of the other characters. We have Noelle Silva. Was weak in the beginning, however now I believe she has the Valkyrie armor, Saint Valkyrie armor, which you could equate to Yuno's Spirit of Boreos and Asta's Devil Union. We'll talk about it a little bit later. She inherited the Water Spirit from Lady Lapricria. I think that's the pronunciation. I'm sorry if I messed it up, but Noelle, she gained an attack spell, the Sea Lion's Roar. We saw her use it against Despair. Then later against the Elves, we see her used it against I forget her name. She's Mars's girlfriend. Don't remember her name. Not that important. But she gained the Valkyrie armor kind of after her mother. We saw she's able to use Mana Skin. And then she went against Vanessa. She got caught the first fight, but now she's going in with her new Valkyrie armor, Saint form, or Saint's Valkyrie armor. I love Noelle. I think that she's very strong. I don't think she's as strong as other characters on the list, like Yami. She's not there yet because her magic control isn't all the way there yet. However, she is very strong, so I'm going to put her in the A tier. Noelle Silva, ladies and gentlemen, we love her. Next up, we have Henry. I don't think Henry's all that strong. He's not really useful. I mean, he has and is able to manipulate the Black Bull's base of operations. That's about it. He can't leave it or else he'll cause trouble for a lot of people. His absorbing of people's mana is a blessing and a curse because it could weaken the enemy, but at the same time it could weaken other members of the Black Bulls. So Henry, he ain't really done much. Hasn't proven more than Gauge, Gordon, Finra, even Gray. So I'm going to put Henry, I'm going to put him dead last. I like Henry, but like I say, he just hasn't proven it enough. We have Luck. They say that Luck's mana detection is better than that of Royals. I don't remember if Luck's a Royal or not. I'm pretty sure I'm not sure he's a Royal, but he's definitely not a peasant. Something happened to him in his past. I don't remember, but I like Luck. I think he's very strong. We saw it took Asta and his devil form, Vanessa, and Magna to stop him when he inherited the powers of the elves. And then in the Spade Kingdom, we also see that he gained even more power. He got even more stronger. He was able to defeat a demon who could use up to 50% of his powers. And then after they self-destructed, he trained even more with the elves, and he got elves magic. I'd say Luck, I don't think he's stronger than Noelle. Noelle is kind of broken right now, but with everything we've seen, Luck has always been stronger than Magna, so it would make sense to put him over Magna. I think Luck goes in the A tier simply because of his speed. He's able to speed blitz people. He's able to inflict a lot of damage on them with his lightning magic. I think he's above Charmy, above Magna. I think he deserves to be in the A tier. Now, Nero's a little bit weird because technically she's an arcane stage. She's on the level of people like Asta, Yami, different captains. However, she's nowhere near as strong as them. It's just her magic, being able to seal things and lock them in place, basically. That's what gives her the edge. However, she's not that strong. She's not physically strong, or her attacks, spells and stuff, they're not really useful. She can kind of stop bleeding and stuff like that, temporarily healing people. We saw she assisted Asta when he was fighting Zengri, so she's useful in that aspect. However, I'm gonna put her above these two simply because she's an arcane stage and she can assist in the fight with the Spade Kingdom. Unlike Henry and Gray, they're not really that useful when it comes to that. Actually, alright, that's a little bit disrespectful. I'm gonna put her right there. Alright? Because I like Gauge's attack power and attack potential more than Nero. But Nero, like I said, the arcane stage boosts her up just a little bit. Now, like I said, I think this is... I rarely have Black Clover content on my channel. However, Not was introduced the last 2 or 3 episodes, I believe. And so, if you wanted to see him, you had to see him in the manga. He has multiple devils under his control. His devil union's pretty cool because he can use multiple devils and different devils, so he has different unions. And this is going to sound weird. I'm disappointed in him, but I'm not. Because in the manga, well, he's getting beat. He was getting beat by these 2 demons. However, it's not his fault. They're stronger than what the Dark Triad was. So he wasn't expecting that. He said that he was only going to be able to take those of the Dark Triad. So him getting beat is expected. However, for us seeing and being introduced to him, we don't want to see him get beat. But however, he is strong. He's stronger. He's at least on the level of the demons and the people of the Dark Triad, like Vanessa, Zenon, and Dante. So he's stronger than Noelle and Luck for sure. But like I said, his debut was disappointing, but it's understandable why he lost, because he fought against devils from the underworld that were stronger than we've ever seen. So it only makes sense. And here we have Vanessa. Another one of those characters, one-on-one, she's not the best. She's not useless, but at the same time, she shines better with others. We see her with Finra and Asta, what they were able to do against Despair. I'm bringing Despair up a lot because that was really when the Black Bull shined a lot, one-on-one, and in different instances, so I'm sorry that I'm using that a lot. In the Witch's Forest, she was able to assist Asta again, same with Finra, when they were able to defeat one of the members of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. She also has the ability to... she's an arcane stage, I believe, as well, because of her ability with Rouge, ability to twist and control fate. So that's a pretty useful ability. However, just like Magna, just because she has one strong ability does not necessarily make her the strongest, right? With Magna, his soul chain, if the other person is able to withstand and be able to have an endurance match and has more endurance than him, he wins. And if Vanessa runs out of magic with Rouge, just because it can change fate, if she runs out of magic, it doesn't mean anything because she can no longer use it. But I'm gonna put her above Nero, but I don't think she's above Gauge. I think Gauge has too much attack power compared to her. So yeah, there's where I place Vanessa. We have Zoro and his trap magic. Zoro, if you guys didn't know, he was Magna's, I guess, senpai. He taught him how to come up with his own magic spell in order to, or his own magic trap, something along those lines, to be able to get him to compete with Dante. So I personally think he's above Magna. I still have Charmy over him because Charmy took out the captain, but Zoro is pretty impressive in what he does with his trap magic. He's able to also redirect stuff with traps, how he's able to take it and bounce it right back with even more damage. We saw what he did against Langris. We saw with Asta and I believe Mariona, what he was able to do in that situation. So, and we also saw with what he did with, I believe his name is Noelle, the captain of the, shoot, I don't even know, but it's, he's a captain somewhere, but him, Noelle, all of them, Zoro, his trap magic is very useful and very unique. He deserves to be the B tier. And last but not least, we have the MC and Asta. I have him over Not. There's a reason why I have him over Not. It's because he was able to defeat the demons that Not wasn't able to do. He also, I don't know, this was always confusing me. It was like in a recent chapter, Asta, I believe he's able to cut something like the moon or something along those lines. I don't know, that chapter was a little weird. But Asta, time and time again, has been able to surpass his limits and has grown much stronger. We saw in the beginning he only had the Demon Dweller sword, and then he got the Demon Slayer and the Demon... I believe his swords are Demon Dweller, Demon Destroyer, and Demon Slayer. So we saw how he was able to use those later in the series. During the Black Witch's Forest, he also was able to obtain his black form with the anti-magic with Libe. And we saw how he was able to use that. We saw he mastered black slash attacks and how strong he got after the time skip. I'd say Asta, and we see his Devil Union. His Devil Union is pretty sick. It was able to save the Clover Kingdom. Chapter 282 is my personal favorite chapter in the whole series. That's why I remember it. I'd say, personally, when we look at the big three, why am I saying the big three, but the big three of the group, there's a lot of trios in anime and in their own series. There's a lot of trios, but we're going to be talking about Yuno, Asta, and Noelle. Yuno, he has the Spirit of Barrios. Noelle, she has the Saint Valkyrie armor now, and now Asta, he has the Double Union. She has the Water Spirit. Yuno has the Wind Spirit, and Asta has anti-magic and Libe. So they all have like a special ability, a partner. And I personally think it goes Asta with his Double Union, Yuno with the Spirit of Barrios, and then Noelle with her Saint Valkyrie armor. So Asta, very strong. He's done a lot in the Spade Kingdom, and he's not finished yet. But here we have it. This is where I rank the Black Bulls in terms of strength. I like where I have Asta, Noelle, luck. I think people who you could argue who could go up is probably Charmy. She could definitely go up a little bit. Maybe, I think that's about it. Maybe you could argue Luck could go down. But I think the only person is really Charmy and Luck are probably the only two debatable ones on this list. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys want more Black Clover content. It's my favorite of the new gen, so I'd love to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to unleash your potential.